Hey there, Cancer. How you doing tonight? My name is Sherilyn, and I am here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for Monday, September 8th. Whoops, okay, come on. Through Thursday, September 11th, okay? That's kind of the whole deal, right? Yeah, that was it. I'll be back on Wednesday to do bonus readings to get you through the weekend. That's the whole deal. Okay, let's see what we get. This one's for my Cancers, Cancers, Cancers. Okay. We're starting this one off with the Page of Wands, followed by the Eight of Cups, and then I got the Five of Pentacles. That's your backstory or your recent past. Currently, I have you with the Eight of Swords, followed by the Page of Cups, and then I have the Nine of Swords, okay? In the near future, we are looking at the Seven of Swords, followed by the Queen of Swords. And then we get the Knight of Pentacles. That is a lot of swords for a Cancer. There we go. Bottom of the deck right now is the Ten of Pentacles. So the undercurrent to this entire reading, or the focus for you in general right now, is all about your Ten of Pentacles. You are trying to settle in on a path that you think will get you to your Ten of Pentacles, which is your abundance, your success, your legacy, things like that, okay? At the center of your read is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups can be a couple of different things, but normally it is a very small offer of some sort, a very small love offer, or it is basically a smaller apology. Whatever it is much smaller because it's coming from a rather immature, ungrounded place. It's a page, so we'll see how they play in as we go, okay? So we're going to open this with the Page of Wands, who to me, I tell people this is the person who would be at Burning Man. This is the person who is out for adventure. They want to see new people, new places, new things. You know, they're not looking to be tied down or attached. They're looking for adventure. That's what they're after. Chase and adventure, okay? So this is how you're opening it. This is the state of mind we have right here. The next card over is the Eight of Cups. So I feel as though in the recent past, you were taken by a sense of adventure, possibly. You felt as though you needed an adventure. There was something. You felt bogged down by whatever your reality was. And it looks as though you chose to walk away from a situation. Although you still had emotion for it, you felt like you were choosing you and you were walking away from something. For some of you are just in general trying to walk away from adulting maybe, to chase youthfulness or youthful pursuits type of deal, okay? That's how I see this for most of you in the recent past. Okay, so what the obstacle here was the Five of Pentacles. The obstacle was almost instantly, I think most of you realized that you were feeling quite left out in the cold, or you had not given enough credit to how much comfort you had within the situation you walked away from. Because once it was gone, then you felt like you had been abandoned or left out in the cold, which is ironic because I feel like you walked away and then you felt left out in the cold. That's kind of a... Okay, we'll leave that alone. That's in your past anyways. That's already happened or whatever, so we'll keep going. Right? Okay. So, or for others of you, you might have left a situation, and then when you tried to return to the situation, you no longer fit in there. So then you felt left out in the cold. Either way. Now we're in the current. Currently, I have you with the Eight of Swords. That's also 2 8s. Okay, but I have you with the Eight of Swords and then the Page of Cups. The challenge is the Nine of Swords. So the Eight of Swords, coupled with the other 8 that I have up here at the Eight of Cups, I feel like we are speaking of somewhat of a karmic cycle. Meaning this is something that's happening on repeat. Maybe not with the same people, but it's the same situation, right? You get into something where you feel stable, then you feel restricted, so then you try to run to go back and feel young again, and then you feel left out in the cold, and it feels like it's possibly something that you've done repeatedly, okay? Eight of Swords currently has you up in your head. Maybe you have come to realize that this is a karmic cycle, and now you're trying to see what you have to do to break it or figure out why you do it. Page of Cups being the next card over, this is some sort of, looks like a small love offer that's coming towards you here. Should you decide to take it, it looks like you'll jump right back on the same cycle, right? This is how this starts. This is how this kind of looks like. It's time for you to try to break the cycle maybe. Nine of Swords is the challenge position. That's because you have realized this enough so that now it's harder for you to just jump back in because you know where this is going to head. Nine of Swords is you being stressed out and filled with anxiety over the whole situation. But I do feel like the realization of exactly what's happening is new to you. for what that's worth. I don't feel like this is something that you possibly realized before. Okay? Still, we're in hot pursuit of this Ten of Pentacles. That's what you're trying to get to. Okay, what do we have in the near future? Seven of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the challenge is the Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Swords is, through all this that you've been through and all the cycles you've already done, it feels like there has been the result is a breakdown in your ability to trust certain situations or people, or maybe love in general. I don't know. There's definitely a breakdown in trust here. Part of it might be the ability to trust yourself, to be able to stick something out or to be able to commit to something. The next card over is the Queen of Swords. Is that how you're presenting here? I guess you are. Okay, so you're presenting here as the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords would be somebody who is very defensive, very cold. Okay, they look at everything from a very logical, analytical type of a stance. Very intelligent, but they just don't allow emotions or passions to try to carry them. They want to try to make everything very black and white. They want to make decisions very right or wrong, right? There you go. So now you are very defensive and you're not trusting anything, really. And then the challenge here is the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving card in the deck. So even though you have thoughts on what to do or how to fix things, it's almost impossible for you to manage to get things going or get traction to your ideas or your thoughts right now. It's just, yeah. Okay, what do we have behind the Ten of Pentacles? I have the Seven of Wands, and then I have the Ten of Wands. Seven of Wands is speaking about your defensiveness again. And the Ten of Wands is that it's all become a very heavy burden. The defensiveness, the lack of trust, feeling cold, all of it's just become a very heavy burden to you. That's what I see. Let's see. We'll get three more and then I'll do the days of the week. Okay, who else we got here? We've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Tower. The Seven of Pentacles is you trying to make your mind up about how much you want to invest in something, or if you want to invest in a certain person, place, or thing. With the Wise One, this is the Hierophant. This is you desiring a higher level of commitment, but you can't really have it if you're not going to give your end of it, okay? And the Tower is things crumbling around you because you're having a very hard time here. There's things inside of you that just need to be healed before you try to get into a relationship. You know, why you keep doing what you're doing you got to figure that out and try to heal that, because otherwise you just, like I said, it's just a karmic cycle otherwise. But let's see what we get. Monday, I have the Ten of Cups and the Awakening. So judgment being called on you by somebody who you felt was possibly your road to the Ten of Cups, to emotional fulfillment. Tuesday, I have Five of Cups, so that's loss and regret and forward motion. This is you dealing with a sense of loss and regret, but rather than truly dealing with it, you instantly just try to run. You just try to get as far away from it as you can. Wednesday, I have the Knight of Wands and the Moon. Wednesday, this is all about you not seeing things clearly, and because you don't see things clearly, you're acting impulsively, but not with all the facts, right? And Thursday, I have the Ten of Swords, so we have a betrayal with the Five of Wands, which has left you feeling incredibly conflicted about how you feel in general. Cancer, this is a rough week, it looks like, in a lot of ways. And in other ways, I think this is just your normal, like you're just used to playing this same cycle over and over again. So I don't know that it affects you as much as it could or probably should. But it looks like it's starting to catch up with you a little bit. You really need to try to heal whatever is broken right now, because otherwise you just keep doing this over and over again, and that's not helping you. It's just not. I think you deserve the higher level of commitment that you want, but you have to figure out how to heal what's broken so that you can be part of a healthy relationship, is what I see. All right, that's what we have for now. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can. I heard somewhere that this eclipse was going to affect you guys strongly, so maybe it's going to help you get to where you need to be to fix this, and so you can move on and have the life you want, right? That's what I'm hoping for you. That's how it's going to work out. Okay, thank you for everything. All right, bye.